Monday morning, expecting a mundane message about the village fete, only to hear your mate's voice whispering sweet nothings to your wife, sent to you by mistake. That's the moment David's world in Chipping Norton shattered. A single voice note ripping through a decade of marriage like a storm through a Cotswold garden. This is the story of a betrayal uncovered by a slip of the thumb, and the man left picking up the pieces in a village where secrets don't stay buried long. Bell above the door of the Fox and Hounds jingled as David pushed through, the familiar scent of ale and polished wood wrapping around him like a warm coat. Chipping Norton was the kind of place where everyone knew your business, sometimes before you did. The Cotswold village, with its honeystone cottages and rolling hills, was David and Emma's haven, a place they'd settled 10 years ago after fleeing London's chaos. Their life was stitched into the fabric of the community. Emma's cakes at the church bake sale, David's carpentry fixing the village hall's creaky stage, their daughter Sophie's laughter echoing across the green as she chased mates after school. But that Sunday morning in July 2025, as David sipped his coffee at the kitchen table, a voice note from Tom, their mate from the local cricket club, turned it all to ash. David and Emma had met at a London pub quiz, her quick wit outshining his knack for obscure history facts. She'd teased him about his tweed jacket, he'd bought her a gin and tonic, and by the end of the night, they were planning a second date. Marriage followed, then Sophie, now 8, with Emma's hazel eyes and David's stubborn streak. They'd built a life in Chipping Ninny Lane, where Emma tended a small garden behind their cottage, her hands dusted with soil as she planted lavender, and David crafted bespoke bookshelves for the vicar. Tom, a lanky estate agent with a disarming smile, had been a fixture in their lives since he sold them their cottage. He'd join them for pints, regaling them with stories of city clients over shepherd's pie at the pub. David never thought twice about Tom's late-night chats with Emma over a shared love of gardening, until the voice note. She'd teased him about his tweed jacket. He'd bought her a gin and tonic, and by the end of the night, they were planning a second date. Marriage followed, then Sophie, now 8, with Emma's hazel eyes and David's stubborn streak. He'd built a life in Chipping Ninny Lane, where Emma tended a small garden behind their cottage, her hands dusted with soil as she planted lavender, and David crafted bespoke bookshelves for the vicar. Tom, a lanky estate agent with a disarming smile, had been a fixture in their lives since he sold them their cottage. He'd join them for pints, regaling them with stories of city clients over shepherd's pie at the pub. David never thought twice about Tom's late-night chats with Emma over a shared love of gardening. Until the voice note. It arrived at 7:43 a.m., a ping on David's phone as he scrolled through X for village gossip. Expecting Tom's usual banter about cricket scores or pub plans, David tapped play. Tom's voice, low and intimate, filled the kitchen. Love. Meet me at the usual spot by the river 8 tonight. Can't wait to see you. The message cut off, but the damage was done. David's heart thudded, his coffee going cold. The usual spot? He replayed it, catching the warmth in Tom's tone, the familiarity that wasn't meant for him. Emma, upstairs getting Sophie ready for school, had no idea her secret was out. David's mind raced. Tom's car parked too long outside their cottage, Emma's late meetings at the gardening club, her flushed cheeks after quick walks by the river. The pieces clicked, sharp and cruel. The day passed in a blur. David sent Sophie to school, her plaits bouncing as she waved goodbye, oblivious to the storm brewing. He didn't confront Emma right away. He needed proof, clarity. That evening, he followed her, keeping to the shadows of Chipping Norton's narrow lanes, the river's gentle rush masking his footsteps. There, under the willows by the Evenlode, he saw them, Emma and Tom, hands entwined, her laugh soft as he whispered something. David's stomach twisted, but he didn't interrupt. He walked home, the village's charm, its cobbled streets, the market hall's glow, now mocking his naivety. Emma returned, humming as she hung her scarf. David was waiting in the lounge, the phone on the coffee table like a loaded gun. "Listen to this," he said, his voice steady despite the ache in his chest. He played the voice note. Emma froze, her eyes wide, then crumpling as she sank onto the sofa. David, I'm so sorry, she whispered, tears spilling. She spoke of feeling trapped by routine, of Tom's attention sparking something she hadn't felt in years. It was a mistake, she said. I love you. But the words felt thin, drowned by the memory of Tom's voice, his casual intimacy. David's anger simmered, but it was the betrayal, by his wife, his mate, that cut deepest. Tom rang later, his voice shaky. Mate, it was an accident sending that. We didn't mean to hurt you. David cut him off. You walked into my life and took my wife. Get out of it. Tom tried to apologize, but David hung up, the silence louder than any excuse. The village would talk, Mrs. Jenkins at the post office, the lads at the cricket club, all whispering by morning. But David didn't care about gossip. He cared about Sophie, asleep upstairs, her world still whole. He slept in the spare room that night, the cottage's creaks amplifying his loneliness. By dawn, he was at the kitchen table again, staring at Emma's garden through the window, its roses mocking him with their beauty. She begged for a chance to fix it. Therapy, time, anything for Sophie's sake. David thought of his daughter's giggle, her trust in them both, and nodded, not out of forgiveness, but for her. Tom vanished from their circle, his estate agent sign replaced by another's within weeks. Chipping Norton moved on, its gossip fading like mist over the hills. Months later, David stood by the river, Sophie skipping stones nearby. Emma was trying, cooking his favorite shepherd's pie, joining him at therapy. But trust was a seedling, fragile and slow to grow. The voice note still echoed in quiet moments, but David chose to stay, for the life they'd built, for the girl who deserved better. As Sophie's laughter rang out, he felt a flicker of hope, not the old love, but a new resolve to rebuild, one day at a time, in the heart of their Cotswold home.